Yo, what's up with it? It's your boy Noonie. It's Leo in the third house, and we back with another reading.
Yo, what's up with it? This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house, back with another reading. This is gonna be another pick a card reading. We're gonna be asking the question, who's secretly in love with you? All right, this is a viewer request. I was gonna do who's getting tarot readings on you, but I just wasn't that interested in that. So this one might be a little bit better. I feel like this might be more interesting, to see who's secretly in love with you. Sometimes people put up good facades, good hiding places. They don't really want to show their true feelings or colors. Being in love and loving people is a scary thing. So, you know, who's secretly in love with you, or maybe there's other determining factors for why they can't come forward and confess. But we're going to also see why they're in love with you. Okay? So, all right, so I got 4 piles, and I'm sure you've seen the picture that I had the piles in. They might be backwards in that picture. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a good way to make it happen so that y'all can see the piles a little closer. But this is what I got so far. So if it works, it works. If it don't, we'll work on it and we'll keep doing our best. As always, thanks to those people who be liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, getting involved. Thanks to those people who book those personal readings. I very much appreciate you. Thanks for supporting me and trusting in me to deliver the messages as best I can. I don't want to do too much talking. Let's just get straight to it. So, going with the piles. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. All right, take a second. Look at your piles, whatever. And I'm going to get started over here with pile 1. Boom. Pile 1. So, pile 1. Who's secretly in love with you? Okay, someone who's a strategist. They're very intellectual, very smart, but they feel like they have to fulfill the expectations of others. Like they feel like they have to live up to the expectations of others. They could be a creator. They're very lucky. They're a person who could be a very blunt speaker, a truth seeker. They could be a Sagittarius. They could be a Gemini. It could be a Scorpio. Could be a Taurus. Could be a Virgo. Right now, this person is very spiritual. They're highly blessed, highly favored. They have a lot of abundance. All right, they're able to create things out of nowhere, pretty much. With alchemy, they're able to create out of difficult situations, but they create in a way that's like fulfilling the expectations of others. Like they feel like they're boxed to the expectations of others. They would like to be themselves because you have playful spirit in reverse. So as a person who wants to be playful, they just feel like they have to be a certain way. They could have a platform. They could have, at least admirers, attract people who are attracted to them, or just like they could be like a boss, a manager, someone in like higher level or something like that. You know what I mean? But like I said, they're able to create. And this person is learning to be more grateful and learning gratitude. All right, so they're feeling, they may be feeling overwhelmed. All right, they're very secretive though, and that's why they're secretly in love with you, because we got Scorpio energy here, so they're very secretive. All right, and the Gemini energy is about spying. With Scorpio and Gemini energy, this is a very intense person. This person is a spyer. Now, Gemini energy also gives me playful. You know what I mean? So sometimes they may get easily bored. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I feel like they may be secretly having fun or secretly enjoying themselves. Like they don't like to be seen. I guess maybe in a playful way, because they try to come off as if they're serious. Because the first card out was Sandpiper spirit, which is about being playful. Allowing yourself to just explore life and bounce with glee. But in this case, this person likes to put on the facade as if they have to be super serious all the time. They're very intense though, very intellectual, very smart. They could even be a pastor or a preacher or somebody like that. Like they maybe have a pulpit, but they have some type of like platform or some type of just a level above people. You know what I mean? So if it's not really a platform, it's just them being a level above people. So like they could be like a manager, a counselor, a supervisor. They could be, I don't know, your Boy Scout, Girl Scout. I don't know, somebody who's, what I mean, they're just in charge of a group maybe, or they're just, they have, like I said, a platform of some sort. What I mean? But anyway, they're very strategic. This person is also a very powerful person. Um, Now they do have strong beliefs because I got the Hierophant here, and with the Knight of Wands, that's very strong, passionate beliefs. They're very strong, very passionate. But the reason that they're really in love with you is because you may have moved on. You may have cut the maybe not cut the situation. You may have restarted another situation, restarted a relationship, or restarted. They feel like you restarted a new situation because it's like all right, so it's like an energy of you either. Um, Running into situations like, so either it's like a start stop. I kind of get like a start stop, like being very passionate, being grounded, and then taking a break. You know what I mean? So like they're secretly in love with you because it's like they're not able to stop thinking about you, for one, because they're very passionate about you and they have their mindset on you. I feel like maybe you didn't quite leave. I don't feel like you left. I feel like you maybe restarted either something with the relationship, like you restarted the relationship, or you just took like a brief pause to the relationship. Because the Four of Swords here is in reverse. So, this could usually be about resuscitating a situation, restarting a relationship. And that's why they're in love with you. So you may have just kind of restarted this relationship with this person. You know what I mean? It's like a beginning again, you know what I mean? And with the Knight of Wands, it's like a new passionate beginning. This could be like passionate communication. So you guys could be like messaging each other, you know what I mean? Because so Four of Swords, like I said, is usually about contemplation, taking time out when it's upright. And in reverse, this is like just getting this started. Let me see what's going on with this. Let me give this new life again. I'm not quite fully over this yet. I haven't quite fully processed this yet. And so it has to do here with their beliefs and your beliefs. You guys are sharing in that energy, being very passionate about your beliefs, and the way that you do things, your traditions, so you guys have like some, or even spirituality. You guys might share in like a level of spirituality where, it doesn't even have to be the same spirituality. Like one of you could be a Christian, one of you could be a Muslim, one of you could be, into Buddhism, one of you could be into, just astrology, one could be into like just Catholic, and one could be into, astrology or something like that, or tarot, you know what I mean? Like, you guys don't have to share the same exact spiritual beliefs, but you guys share in the practicality of having a spiritual belief and believing very strongly in it. So that's where you guys are sharing in that energy. And that's why they're secretly in love with you. This energy of you having a strong belief, being very passionate, you know what I mean? And then something here about you guys either starting up a new conversation or starting up, or like rehashing or, rehashing the situation or rehashing a relationship or something like that. That's why they're secretly in love with you. Because it's like maybe you guys took a break, or maybe you guys are like just now kind of like getting back into the swing of things, not quite all the way there, and maybe they don't want to tell you that they're really in love with you because maybe it's too fast or too soon, because the Knight of Wands usually is a very passionate, very quick moving energy. So maybe it's too fast, too soon for them to really tell you, hey, I have feelings for you. And then we have conflict here too. So this is about suppressing feelings. So they're suppressing women, of course, because it's who's secretly in love with you. So of course they're suppressing feelings. And with this Scorpio energy, we know that Scorpio is about secretiveness, and not wanting to allow people to get closer to them emotionally. Scorpio represents fear of intimacy. So this person has a big fear of intimacy and of letting other people see them for who they truly are. Though they're very blessed and they're very lucky and highly favored and highly educated and having a lot of wisdom and a lot of truth, or having a higher perspective of seeing things, they choose to kind of like hide themselves away, tuck themselves away. They may be even dealing with anxiety, and that energy of maybe even being a bit controlling or like possessive, you know what I mean? Like they like their people are their people, you know what I mean? Like that's how they feel. Like if they want you, you're theirs, and it's a secretive energy. So you may not even know that they've claimed you already, but that's pretty much who they are. All right. And it's a person who could have moved or is moving, you know what I mean? Like they feel like they're overwhelmed. They feel like they have a lot going on. They feel like there's a lot of stress happening for them. So they're just planning. They're like, they're a person, so they might run a business. They could run a business, because that could be like something that has like a platform and other people see you or admire you or respect you. You know what I mean? So they don't have to always just be a boss. They could be a platform, like a self-made boss, right? And so They're learning to take small actions every day because this is the heart chakra. So this is what's being healed for them. So they're learning to be more receptive, practice gratitude because they're blessed. These people have, either this people or this person has a lot of blessings. They're very stable. They could have like a government job, you know what I mean, with the Hierophant, or they could have like a spiritual job, or some type of like a large network job or something like that. Like they have a good position, you know what I mean? They have a good position. They have good standing in society, you know. And so, like I said, they're just more so in love with you. Maybe you guys rehashed, you know, a relationship, restarted communicating again, and it's, you know, it's happening kind of quick. It might be moving kind of fast, and maybe that's why they're afraid to tell you, hey, I'm secretly in love with you, because, you know, this is moving faster than what they thought. It's like maybe you guys ended it, took a break or whatever, and then it started back up and it's moving really fast, really passionate. You know, you guys are kind of standing like on some, setting like a firm foundation. You know, you guys are like kind of like, because you guys are sharing in beliefs and strength. You know, this is the Hierophant energy, which is not really strength. What it has to do with is Taurus energy. But I know Taurus represents the physical body and strength. And so this is like sharing in those beliefs, those traditions. You guys share traditional values and the passionate feeling to, like, you know, keep those things alive pretty much. So let's get your advice. It says, conflict. Feelings which you have suppressed for a very long time are yearning to be acknowledged and expressed. You are torn between what you think is the right thing to do. See, that's what this person is. Because that's what ultra means, like wanting to be another way, but just fulfilling the expectations of others. You know what I mean? Afraid of what other people will think. That's who they are. They're a person who's afraid of what other people will think. And so it says, you are torn between what you think is the right thing to do and what your heart wants. And this is the primary cause of stress in your life. We, your angels, urge you to follow your heart. Do what you would love, not what you think you should do. All right, so this could be for you as well, that, you know, the energy. You guys may share in that energy, because you guys share in this Taurus energy or this Hierophant energy of strong beliefs, very passionate about it, you know, and not letting your beliefs die, like living on them, you know what I mean, standing on those things. So let's go over the signs one more time, and I'm gonna close this up. So I got Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Scorpio, Taurus. And you know what? We could have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius because of the night. And you know what I mean? It's a person. So let's just say that. So we also got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay? So, pile one, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house. Boom. Pile two. So, pile two. Who's secretly in love with you? Could be a Gemini, could be a Pisces, could be a Sagittarius, could be a Capricorn, could be a Pisces again, could be a Leo. Okay, so there's confusion here. All right, there's like a, you know, of course, because if we're being secretive, right? So this is a person who doesn't really know how to be gentle. They're trying to find a gentle approach with you, right? Because we got the bridge here and we have Deer Spirit in reverse. And bridge is about finding mutual ground, all right? They're not quite sure how to do it because we have Neptune energy here and we have the Moon energy here, all right? But we're gonna get into that, because that Moon in the tarot is representing why they're in love with you, all right? And it's because you've made some type of understanding or gained some type of fear, not fear, but I feel like you've overcome some type of fear, because we have the end of a tough cycle. All right, so this is some type of person who is a hard worker. They could have been going through a hard time. They're getting their blessings now because you have milk and honey. So they're getting their blessings now. They're looking at the big, so they have a broader perspective. This could be someone who's into spirituality, has higher knowledge, could be like a professor, could be, you know, a boss manager for sure, because when I got Capricorn energy, I think of the boss. And with Sagittarius energy, I think of someone who has higher information or just more information than the average person, the average Joe, you know, and they know how to use it in a practical matter, you know, in a practical manner with Sagittarius energy, all right? So this could be someone who's very bold, very charismatic, very charming, yet very reliable, very steady, kind of stoic. They may not say too much, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they know how to find a common ground with you. Now, we also have the energy of them, so they may come off as very blunt, because that's what I got from the very beginning, was like they want to find a gentle approach. They don't really know how to be gentle. They're more not harsh. I mean, they can be harsh. It may come off as harsh. With the deer spirit, I get it, like they may come off as harsh but not mean to be harsh, you know, if that makes sense. Because with the deer spirit here, it is the energy of them being gentle, but they just don't really know how. Because right next to it is electricity, which is about fully expressing yourself, just not really, not thinking about how you're seen by others, you know, just, you know, like letting the energy infect you, and through being able to express yourself, you're, you know, infecting others. So they're a type of person who can share their energy with other people and electrify the room, you know. They have a strong presence, but they're trying to find a way to connect with you. You know, they're trying to find this bridge, you know, and it's not really quite clear. Now, this person could be intuitive, because we have Pisces energy here, which makes, you know, and the moon, so that's very intuitive, and they're connected to each other, so they're very intuitive. They could be an artist, you know, with this Neptune energy. I think of as an artist, and with the milk and honey, it kind of gives me like they do some type of artwork, or they do some type of creativity here. Now, you could have had an ending with them, because that's why they're in love with you. It could have been some type of ending here, and they may be putting on the facade as if it's okay. So you might already know this person, you know what I mean? And what they're trying to figure out now. So this, all right. So because we have, okay. So this is what I'm thinking. This person thinks that they feel like you and them together would be a great match, right? I'm explaining why now, because in the middle, I'm seeing Neptune, right? Mostly Neptune in the middle. I gotta get away so that y'all can see these cards, so that way I can really express it to you in the way I like to as well. I'm gonna get another camera soon. So, but for now, just listen. So, we got Neptune in the middle with milk and honey, right? And with the bridge. So they're trying to find a way to connect with you. They're not quite sure. So they're having to follow their intuition, all right? Then this person there's a level of confusion, because they're not quite seeing it clearly. Now they know that there's a level of success that's here with you, because, you know, milk and honey, and then we have, you know, looking at the bigger picture, as well as the end of a tough cycle, which is usually about persevering through difficult situations. So for them, this is difficult. You know, there was an ending that happened. You know, it had to do with fear of intimacy, and self-expression, because the moon with the sun has to do with self-expression. So this is two different balances. So this is a focused. All right, so we're dealing with your instinct, and we're dealing with your ego here. All right, and knowing the difference is what I'm feeling like, because that's why they're a bit like harsh, because, you know, the moon represents your instincts, it represents that feminine energy. The sun is your masculine energy, and right now the moon is in reverse. So this is like the feminine energy is off a little bit. That means that they're not able to be receptive or gentle or nurturing. Instead, they're coming off a bit brutal. You know what I mean? They're coming off a bit brutal, you know. And so that's kind of like why they're in love here, because you have, you know, you found a way of expressing your deeper feelings, your deepest emotions, and you might have caused an ending here, you know what I mean, because you're becoming the star of your life now. You know, that's what it's about. Like this person has presence, and you have a presence. Like this is the energy that y'all sharing, and at the bottom, this is why. So you guys are sharing in this energy. You know what I mean? For them, it's in the opposite. For you, it's this way where I'm seeing it. So for them, they're having issues with expressing their emotions. They're having fears of intimacy. They're not quite willing to get over things that have already betrayed them. See, for them, all these cards would be in reverse. For us, they would be the other way around. You know what I mean? We're seeing them this way, okay? So for them, they're seeing it this way. This is how they're perceiving it. They're still holding on to something and not able to let go of what already happened. Though the worst of the situation has already happened, they're still afraid to express themselves and enjoy themselves and really be content with what life has. This is also representing a card of gratitude, you know, because there's a fear of intimacy here. They don't really quite know what lies beyond, you know, the surface. And so they have a fear of expressing themselves because of what happened to them in the past. But they see you as already conquering that beast. You know, and so that's why they're secretly in love with you. You've now become the star of your life. You've conquered that. You have a level of abundance as well. You know, so you and them are probably abundance people. Somehow they want to create a way to just kind of like bridge the gap with you, because that's what bridge means. It's like finding some type of mutual ground, but they don't quite know how, because they're more, they're rough. They're kind of tough with the way that they communicate. So even if this is a woman, she's kind of brutal, she's kind of rough, she's kind of tough, or she doesn't quite know how to be as nurturing as, we ideally think of women being, soft, nurturing, you know what I mean? And so she doesn't know how to be that way, or he doesn't know how to be that way. They're just more so in their masculine energy, getting things done. The only real energy I see here that's feminine is, well, we got Pisces energy here too, but the Pisces energy is in the Neptune. So that means that they're not still able to see it quite clearly. They're having to use their imagination and visualize, how they should be. They're not quite sure how, and that's what they're trying to figure out, how. But they're in love with you because of the way that you learn how to express yourself, how you can call endings to things that have hurt you. You know what I mean? And you're okay with it. Like, you know how to express that you're hurt. Oh, that's what it is. You know how to express that you're hurt and move on from it. You know what I mean? Whereas they're still kind of like harping on what's already happened, even though the worst has already happened. You know what I mean? You kind of know how to just deal with it. Because you don't have the fear of intimacy here like they do. You know what I mean? You're able to, face your fears. With the moon in reverse, about facing your fears. And with the sun, this is an illuminate, or illuminator. All right, what this does, a luminary, my bad. And what it does is basically just expose the things that are hidden. And with the moon, it's usually about things that are hidden. So you're not afraid to look at the things that have hurt you. You're not afraid to get closer to people. And that's why they're secretly in love with you. Because, maybe like I said, maybe it could have been an ending, or just that you're not afraid of ending things. You're not afraid of expressing the things that hurt you, disappoint you, that leave you down, or that take you out. You're not afraid of that. You're not afraid to get closer to people. And so they're trying to find a way to get closer to you. Okay? So here's your advice. It says, maybe it was a betrayal too, because it says, love, negative thoughts, and feelings are sabotaging your pursuit of happiness. We, your angels, are here to help you heal. Allow our healing light to flow through your heart. Consciously infuse each negative thought or feeling with love and light. Fill both your heart and mind, aligning to your soul's purpose, and unleash your divine potential through the power of love. So yeah, this Ten of Swords could also be a betrayal. You know what I mean? Maybe you could have illuminated a betrayal. Maybe it was a secret betrayal or something, because, the moon could be a secret and the sun being an illuminate, and it could have been, a secret betrayal that you might have illuminated. And maybe that's what's going on here. That could be something that's possible. Because it says negative thoughts and feelings are sabotaging your pursuit of happiness. So, with the swords, this is usually a feeling of, regret. But you know what I learned about the Ten of Swords? So the Ten of Swords comes about, it's a intuition blockage, right? The Ten of Swords shows up because not once, not twice, but 10 times you let someone stab you in the back and betray you and hurt you and break your trust, and you did nothing. And so this is a culmination of it. You know what I mean? So maybe you could have exposed a culmination of betrayals, or a culmination of letdowns, a culminations of setbacks, you know what I mean, in terms of relationship. It doesn't even have to be betrayals, it could be like setbacks, right? A culmination of them in times where you were seeing that maybe this wasn't working, or this isn't going in the direction I would like it to. And that's what caused you to get hurt. The Ten of Swords shows up when you're not following your intuition. And it's funny because we have Neptune here in the middle, which is about them trying to follow their intuition. It's just an energy of, fear, you know what I mean? It's confusion. It's a lot of things aren't quite clear. We don't really know what's going on here. You know what I mean? And that's what this is all about. It's a lot of like confusion. Nothing's really clear. Nothing's being spoken. You're the only person that really knows how to communicate, it seems like, and that's why they're secretly in love with you, because you know how to express what's bothering you. Okay? So, pile 2, that was your reading. Thanks for watching. This is your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the 3rd house. Boom, pile 3. So, pile 3, who's secretly in love with you? For sure, someone who's afraid to be vulnerable. They're trying to find some level of peace. Something may have been taken away from them that they really like. Maybe they lost their reputation. They're getting it back though. They may have had a bad reputation. They're getting it back. All right, so you have Virgo, we have Libra, we have Aquarius, we have Libra, and we have Taurus, we have Aquarius, we have Gemini, and Libra again. So you could have had an ending with this person, or you guys just don't communicate. Now, this could be a person who's at a distance from you, okay? This could be a person who has at a distance from you. They could live in a city. You know, maybe they could travel city to city, or they might move from one city to another city, because I got biome. It's like they're moving from a city to a city, from one city to the next city. You know what I mean? There's cities here, so I don't know if you can see them. But that's what they're doing. They're moving from one city to another city. This is a fair and balanced type of person. Now, this could be a spiritual person too, because it says dove spirit, and you know, dove spirit is about allowing spirit to, you know, to hold you, to take care of you. This is a person who feels like they have to take care of themselves. All right, they're feeling like the way they're going about getting their abundance is not getting them there, and it's not allowing them to be. They're abundant, but maybe they don't feel like it's coming in as fast as they want, because Treasure Island is here, which means that they have abundance, but they don't feel like they're having it coming as fast, or they feel like the way that they're doing it is kind of making them churn butter, you know, where they're not really going anywhere. They're just, you know, making up waves. Anyway, this person could be a person that's also like focusing on self-care, because a win-win outcome could sometimes be about sometimes taking care of yourself. Or this could be someone who wants to offer you some type of fair and balanced relationship. They just don't know quite how to do it, because Treasure Island, like I said, could mean that the way they're going about it, they don't know how to do it. And with this rabbit spirit, they're afraid of being vulnerable. So they want some type of level of stability with you. They see a level of abundance with you, a fair partnership, a fair coming together. You know, they just they're afraid of, maybe they had maybe they lost a job, maybe they lost, you know, some type of financial standing, or maybe they lost just like their reputation and like a reputation in society as being somebody, and they're not that anymore. So because they had some type of breakthrough, you know, their reputation isn't the same anymore. So maybe they were, you know, with Virgo energy, that gives me, I always think of Virgo energy as sneaky energy. So maybe they had a reputation as being sneaky, and now they're not that way anymore, and they're afraid of being vulnerable, you know. And if it's not sneaky, it could just be having a reputation of getting things done, kind of like a all cost, or getting things done to have a reputation of doing things that are a bit erratic or eccentric. They're not traditional, you know. And this is in terms of getting what it is that they desire. You know, maybe that's how they harvested things, is by some type of maybe they danced. Because I got beauty, romance, and breakthrough, which is about revolutionary innovation. It's Aquarius energy, you know. So like maybe they're not like, they're attractive, you know, because I got Venus, Taurus, and Libra energy. So they're attractive, you know. They just give off. It's like maybe they're not your traditional. Maybe they're not traditionally beautiful or traditionally handsome. You know, they have like a quirky attractiveness to them. You know what I mean? Now, there's a person who's a giver. They could be an overgiver or have a reputation for being an overgiver. And they're having like some levels of epiphanies now. Now, they wanted to connect with you somehow because they feel like they need to escape, or they need to break out of their routine, or they break out of their rut. You know, this person's just afraid, like, because with the rabbit spirit here, it's a lucky time for them. They're just not seeing it as that. You know what I mean? They're not really at peace. So there's an energy of being carried and trusted in, or carried and protected by spirit. This person isn't really comfortable with it. They're not believing in it, and they're not feeling especially strong enough to be vulnerable. All right, but they're healing their root chakra. They're learning to be more grounded within themselves. This is also about being able to get their needs met. And the reason, because you got the Six of Pentacles, this is the reason why they're in love with you, because you know your value. All right, so you may not be communicating with them, talking with them, you know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't clear intentions. You pretty much got over the situation. I mean, it's just some type of, basically it's just you knowing your value, you know what I mean? Because Six of Pentacles, Knight of Swords in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse. And this is just like no talking, no communication. You know, you could have ended something here. So this is probably somebody that you know. I would assume that, you know, somebody that you know. You know, so maybe, or because like if it's somebody who's at a distance, maybe you guys just don't talk because you guys are away, you know, or somebody could be in jail, because the Ten of Swords doesn't like jail. So somebody could be in jail and there's no communication, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know, maybe there's no money on the books, you know what I mean? Or they don't have any money, or they're needing charity, but they're in love with you because maybe you give stuff to them as well. Maybe you're very giving. You know, but I always see the Six of Pentacles as knowing your value. Upright, I see it as knowing your value, knowing what you offer, you know what I mean, and being able to be gracious or generous enough with other people. You know what I mean? Like, no, like, because this is about the nobility given to people who are lower, not necessarily lower value, but just people who aren't as successful as them, or who didn't have as much financial or monetary gain or status as them. So they see you as a person who's very giving or understands their own value or their place in the world. You know, and in terms of like communication, there may not be any, or you may not necessarily always speak with them. You may be a blunt speaker or a harsh speaker with them. They might like the way that you communicate when it comes to speaking your truth. You know, sword in reverse is usually about challenging beliefs, challenging thought patterns, you know what I mean? And sometimes seeing that they're ridiculous, the way that you've been thinking, you know, and that might be why. Maybe you challenge the way that they think, challenge the way that they communicate, you know, because with you knowing your value, you definitely would put up a challenge for anybody else who doesn't seem to value in that same type of way. So it could be, like I said, it could be like a lack of communication. This person felt like they needed to escape, you know, and so they're learning to be more present and grounded in the moment. And like I said, this could be a person who traveled or a person who just moved. You know, maybe they moved from a place, you know, moved from a city or moving, something in that sense. You know, they could have been, with Virgo, I always think of the Virgo as a person who was taken advantage of. You know, they have a reputation for being taken advantage of. That's something here, and that's why they're afraid of being vulnerable. So they have a level of luxury or abundance. They just don't feel like they have enough, or like they don't feel like what they need or what they really desire is coming in as fast as they would want. They feel like the way that they're going about getting it is making it 10 times slower. You know what I mean? But like I said, they have a reputation for being taken advantage of, and they're very unconventional. You know, they could come off a bit eccentric or eclectic. You know, they're very attractive, very affectionate, you know, but it may not be in the conventional way of what you expect it to be. That's all I really get is like they're not conventionally the way that you expect them to be. Like, so if they're attractive, they're not conventionally attractive. You know, if they dress well, they don't dress how we would conventionally see them dress. You know, like everything about them is different. Their aesthetics is different. The way that they communicate is different. The way that they give is different. The way that they communicate is different. It's you know, it's full of inspiration. It's full of, like, they're working on their self-worth as well. They have a level of self-worth, and the reason that they're secretly in love with you is because you have self-worth as well. You know what I mean? You're not tripping, like, you challenge them. They like that. They like that you challenge them. You challenged out, you know, with the Ten of Swords here, I'm not gonna say it doesn't have to do with beliefs, but here it's more about thoughts, you know what I mean? Like thoughts that I wouldn't feel like repressive thoughts. These are thoughts that they've already gotten over, thoughts that they've already moved past. You challenge, you know, things that they kind of like disregard. So like maybe it's a belief or a thought or idea that they had, like they disregard. So because Virgo can be like that, Virgo energy and Aquarius energy, and sometimes, oh yeah, and Taurus energy for sure. They give up that energy where they kind of like, pish posh, whatever you're talking about. But in this case, they like you because you challenge their beliefs. You're not just going along with the flow or going along with what it is that they say they have, you know, or what it is that they say is right. You're not a person who just stays with that. You know, you make your own way or you make your own decisions in this case. And so they're just afraid to be vulnerable because they've been taken advantage of before. You know, they've had sneaky behavior done to them, you know, and they're just now getting themselves back together. You know what I mean? They're having some type of breakthrough in terms of like love. And it doesn't necessarily mean like relationships. It could be, you know what I mean? It could be, but it isn't really necessarily like for them having love. I feel like they're now having like a understanding of their own personal power and their own attraction levels. Like they're getting grounded in themselves. You know, they're starting to recognize themselves. They're having a whole bunch of sudden epiphanies and sudden realizations. And it could be because, you know, you challenged them, and this is made them more attractive to you. So here's your advice. Opportunity. Wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you've ever experienced has helped you in some way. The past is behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desires. So let's go over the signs one more time. We got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We have Taurus. We have Aquarius again. We have Libra again. We have Libra again. and we have Virgo. So you could, this could be one person or this could be multiple people. Okay, so that's what we got. So pile 3, thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the 3rd house. Boom, pile 4. So pile 4. Who is secretly in love with you? Oh, someone who's a dreamer. They may live in the clouds. Oh, they're a visionary. Okay. They may be outside of your community. They may deal with fear of letting people get close to them. They could be an outsider or a loner. Okay, so the signs I have are Cancer, Leo, Aries, Taurus, Libra, possibly Aquarius, because when I see community, I think of Aquarius. So possibly Aquarius, okay? So this person is learning balance and purification. So they may be detoxing, all right? And with the, embrace the spirit, embrace the in-between, that flamingo spirit. It's about transitioning, that gray area between becoming the new you with the old you. So they're possibly a person who's creating a new version of themselves, and they're kind of like envisioning who they'll become. Now this could be a person who also sees a long term with you, because we got 7th house, all right, and it's the rings, and we have Palace, which is about hedonism in a sense, though. So like they have like a lot of sexual passion for you, but they also see like stability. You know, they see long term with you, all right. Now you could be at a distance from them. You know, you could be at a distance, you know, because we got the 3 of Wands here. And they're either outside of your community or they're like near your community, friend of a friend, something like that. Now, this person can be feminine or masculine. All right, so they could be masculine but like give off more feminine attributes, or they could be feminine but give off more masculine attributes. Well, it's not more. They're more balanced. All right, they have that balance. They have fluidity. All right, where you know, they may be masculine, but they like a lot of feminine stuff. So like if they're male, they may like their nails, you know, their nails and manicure on a regular. They may like to keep the house extremely clean. You know, they may be iron their clothes. You know, we call that feminine, but you know, some people just call that being well dressed or well groomed. You know, but anyway, they could be very good at expressing their emotions if they're a male. You know, they could be very communicative. If they're a female, they may know how to, let's say, do handiwork. They may know how to change a tire. They may know how to, they also know how to communicate or be straightforward. They may be blunt speakers, blunt communicators. They may not always express their emotions. That would be a female being masculine, where instead of always sharing her feelings, she may hold back. So if it's a female, it's that energy where she's not always communicating how she truly feels. All right. And this is a person who's going through some type of transition, though, from being an old them to a new them. And they're learning to be more receptive and learning to be more acceptant of change. They're changing their perspective. So their 3rd eye is being activated, which is about seeing the world in a clearer vision. So the way that they've seen the world when it came to their imagination and their dreams, they could be a person who lives in like a dreamy space, like almost like a Neptune-y space where it's not quite a reality, you know what I mean? Where they, maybe the expectations could be a little bit bigger than what's realistic, you know what I mean? But what I'm getting is that we have nothing will come of this situation, which means that the worst of this situation is over, or that nothing that you guys are working on at this point is going to produce any fruit. You know what I mean? It's not going to go anywhere right about now. It's not meant to right now. When the void of course moon shows up, it's not meant to go any right now. And we have basically you're not talking to them. You're not talking to them. You may have released this situation because you got the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 3 of Wands in reverse, the 8 of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. And you know, this is all about like an energy of kind of like waiting, you know, not really seeing a way through, not thinking that this can happen or this can work. And this is why they're in love with you. They feel like you've released the burden of this and you're looking for that you're not looking for this to go anywhere. You're not expecting this to be anything. Like you've already kind of closed yourself off to this, and you're waiting on like a brand new opportunity, because the Seven of Pentacles is usually waiting on the fruits of your investments to pay off. You know, so you've either done like, and it has to do with partnerships. So you may be thinking that you're waiting on other partnerships to like show themselves to you. You know, because with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Wands and the Ten of Wands in reverse, this is the energy of wanting to release a burden that you've already been carrying for a long time, because you don't see any future in it. Because, you know, the Three of Wands in reverse is like, I don't see a future in it. And the Eight of Swords is negative self-talk as well. So you've already kind of like disregarded them, or kind of like, you know, not seen them as a viable option. And so they're secretly in love with you because of that, because they feel like there's still a potential, you know what I mean, with the Seven of Pentacles. They feel like there's a potential here for a long-term partnership. They just feel like they don't really know how to express themselves. You know, maybe they feel like it's too far, it's too much of a burden. You know what I mean? So that's why they're just keeping it secret. You know, it's just repressive thoughts in their mind, repressive ideas, you know what I mean? And they feel like nothing will come of the situation, or at least that's what the reading is implying, that right now nothing will come of this situation. You know what I mean? The worst of the situation is over, but if you were expecting something new to happen, it's not. Nothing new is going to change right now, because they feel like this is a burden. They feel like you're too far out of reach. You know, they feel like you already, that you don't see this as a positive situation, or as a situation that can move forward. And they see you as more closed off and guarded, you know, waiting on other potentials, or waiting on other partnerships, relationships, agreements, you know what I mean? But as a person who could be a visionary, they could be an artist or painter, you know, but they're a person who has dreams, big dreams, and they share this. They have big dreams of luxury. This is a person who has big dreams of luxury, of relationships, you know, family coming together. And they could be outside of your community, or with your community, near your community, friend of a friend, something like that. Because we got community here. Because they also deal with fears of intimacy. You know, and with nothing will come of this situation, that's probably why. Because they have fear of intimacy. All right. Yeah, probably nothing will come of this situation is really what I'm feeling like. They're afraid. They feel like other people's opinions matter to them. That's what's really big here. And they're a person also who feels like other people don't understand them. So they're in between that energy of becoming a new version of them and holding on to the old version of them that feels like they're misunderstood, that nobody gets them, that other people are secretly judging them. And so what's being healed is their perception of themselves and the world around them. They're no longer going to be playing a victim role, in a sense, because that's what it feels like with this Eight of Swords and this Ten of Wands and this Three of Wands. It's like a victim role. Like, so the way that you're seeing it is like, this isn't going to play out. Like how they're seeing you is like seeing you saying that this isn't going to play out. This isn't going to produce any fruit. You know, this isn't going to be what I would expect it to be. You know, I've been waiting on it to do something. It's not going to do that. Or, you know, I've been expecting something to show up and this isn't it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna be a little bit more patient, you know what I mean, in terms of relationships. And so they see you, and the way that they see themselves is like, coming out. They feel like they're opening up. They feel like they're open to you. They feel like they can see things down the line. Like they feel like they want to carry these burdens with you. They want to take this further. They want to, put the work in. They want to do the time with you. In their mind, this is how they're seeing it. The way they're perceiving it is in reverse. You know, they're perceiving it as this, as I'm coming outside of my head. I'm getting out my comfort zone, you know, where I didn't see potential, I'm starting to see something, you know what I mean? Whereas it's the other way for you. It's like where I thought I seen potential, maybe I was tripping, you know what I mean? And so it's like maybe when you like them, they don't like you, and when you like them, they don't like you, you know what I mean? Or something like that, or you know what I mean? Maybe that's that, or maybe it's not that, but it just feels like they're seeing it one way and you're seeing it the other way, and they're trying to find a balance in between it. They're trying to dream up a solution or an idea of how to make it happen, you know. So they're releasing external influences or other people's expectations, how other people think that, because they're worried about how other people, like what other people think. They're worried about other people's opinions. That matters to them. It's deeply, it bothers them. It's rooted in them. And so they're learning to find their own place in the world, in a sense. You know, they have great visions, great ideas to be something large, abundant. You know, like they think about being maybe rich or famous, or being someone who can change the world with their ideas and with their creative abilities. They're that type of person, you know, and they just feel like they're misunderstood. And so they're learning now to ask for what it is they need. They're learning to be receptive, to be more in a feminine energy. Remember how I was saying here, they're dealing with fluidity. So they could be, if they're masculine, they can be a bit feminine. So they may be learning how to be more masculine and take on the more dominant role. If they're feminine, they're learning how to be more submissive, more relaxed, more receptive. You know what I mean? So there's that energy here where they're learning to like balance out those energies. This is a person who fluctuates between it, and they may have an issue with it, but they're learning now how to get it just right. All right, so they're learning how to ask for what it is that they need, and they're learning to stand up and speak, be more clear and be more direct, because with that embracing the in-between, it's just that gray area where they're having to get comfortable with getting rid of how they used to be, going into the new version of who they want to be or who they are becoming. And so that's where they are. This is who this person is. They're coming into a new version of themselves, and they're wanting to cooperate with you. They see it as a possibility, like they're willing to do the work, and put the effort in with you. In their mind, they are, but in your mind, it doesn't look like it's going to produce any fruit. Like this is a burden. This is, not worth the time and the effort, and it's not going to go as far as you think it is. Like you don't see it going long term, far. You don't see it coming into producing anything of value to you, and so you're more closed off. And that's who this person is. So let me give you the advice. Advice says, prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me dissolve past guilt or regret. Help me to see that all is always in perfect and divine order. Help me to let go of the fear that I project on my future. Help me to live fully within each precious moment and feel your eternal love within and around me. Help me to realize and fulfill my true potential. Thank you. So let's go over the signs one more time. I'm going to wrap this up. So we have Cancer, we have Leo, we have Aries, we have Taurus. All right, that's your signs. But anyway, Pile 4, thanks for watching. This your boy Noonie, and it's Leo in the third house.